The this, listening to Sam Harris and John Gray. I mean, the comedy is, I think Sam Harris is the biggest tosser in the world, and he's very, very intellectually limited, whilst being supposedly the. I mean, even Megan Down announces on her podcast 3 or 4 days ago, or rather by the spam email, and we've got the big one, Sam Harris. Oh, we've got argument going on. Oh, man in a wheelchair. Yeah, even Megan Down. Yeah, we've got the big one. I'm sorry, I've heard nothing new at all from Sam Harris. Watching that film last night, Miss Meadows, the most beautiful example, in fact, of woke. But this word needs to be got rid of. It's just performative self-pity. But it's false it's even self-pity is the wrong word, because it's made up. Listening to the brown woman, and that's important. I wouldn't normally say that. The two people who I have decent conversations, of 3 women I have decent conversations with the last year, 2 are brown. And I wish I've invited them both to be managers, or rather total allies. I trust them both, even though one of them like wonky to drugs. I've invited them. I've been nudging them. There's a really fantastic, wonderful, fabulous artist man who's old, but you need to meet him. He's so great an influence. No nonsense, no bullshit. I trust very few people, and I've been nudging them. Well, come on, there's a place for you. Be by his side, make his tea. Not make his tea. You need to take over the admin. That I've been told on good authority there are grants available, and he will qualify because he wants to leave his studio and gallery to the nation to celebrate him, but others too. Anyway, yeah, blah blah blah. The front row a couple of nights ago, I think it was front row, I'm going to find it, of the brown woman on BBC interviewing the new head of RADA, who I think he's a black man. I only heard the scariest, beyond self-pity, like we have to bring out we have to provide the youngsters learning the great art. We have to provide them with safety. What? The best dramatist in the world by far is Donald Glover. No question about it. His Atlanta is the best. And a white 50-year-old New York film director told me about this when I grilled her and her husband, but mainly her for a while. I trust you, love. I believe you're going to tell me the truth. So who's the greatest writer at the moment? Without a doubt, Donald Glover's series Atlanta. But more importantly, you see, this creeps like this guy, the only people in the media who've really impressed me, like No Act, boys from the projects, and I will remember their names now. He says, Jay Siddons and Jay, oh, what's he called? Yeah, there were 2 guys. I've looked up Jay so many times, it'll come back. Yeah, I heard a couple of guys on Radio 4 speaking after the Tottenham riots, and then I looked up, I was living in my camp, I could get signal, so I was watching a Newsnight Newsnight clips, I suppose, on my laptop, and no. Jay Siddons and Sheldon Thomas. There you go. Jay Siddons and Sheldon Thomas. Jay was on the radio and Sheldon on Newsnight. Two black guys, not particularly educated. They were so fabulous communicators. They were truly, truly, truly wonderful. They were only young. They were early 20s. They were confident, strong. They were conciliatory. They had the right words for universal peace for both sides. I haven't heard anybody speak like. I certainly have heard no white person speak like this. And it wasn't acting. And they hadn't been brutalized or turned into some kind of wonky Kate fucking fake Tempest. Oh, pity us, blah, blah. I'm making money out of people buying my records, making records about me singing about people that need pitying. No, I'm getting all the BBC cultural capital. Yeah, it's like, these two guys, it's like, fucking hell, I want to meet them. I want to go out for a cuppa with them. They're not acting. They're superb and they've got the right words. You know, they're the modern forms of Martin Luther King. And, excuse me, you have some fucking wet who's, I've taken over RADA. And, well, you know, no, of course, he's got exactly the right accent. Just bloody kind of from the projects enough, except he's not really from the projects. He's been going to the bars for years in the King's Road and Fulham and talking about people in the projects and just fucking patronising them. Because, I'm sorry, I know the greatest people come from the underprivileged areas, and there's a definite unfairness in that a percentage die early because they have terrible lifestyles and maybe don't get quite as enough access to the fucking dentist. But it's exactly the wrong way around. Anyway, yes. The greatest comedian in Britain that I've come across by far is Rusbridger's daughter, with her book How to Kill Your Family. It's magnificent comedy. Watching this film last night by a woman, it's truly magnificent comedy. They need to be making comedy about who's really driving this thing. The women like the BBC Radio 4 Arts programme presenter who are prostituting they're not brown, they just kind of we loved Sade. Coffee is sexy. Oh no, they've been hired to speak for their generation, for the fucking bullshit. If they actually wanted to speak for their generation, tell us about, get fucking Jay Siddons on and Sheldon Thomas. Come on, you guys. You guys have got the gift. No, they haven't got the gift of the gab. Their gab comes from real life and not feeling lesser. Everybody has to fight for their rights. It's as simple as that. They always do. They always will have to, unless there is proper egalitarianism, which is unlikely to happen in ultra-bourgeois Britain. There we go. Yeah, comedy. Comedy changed things for the better in the 70s. There was a considerable, probably even majority, who were unpleasant, quite nasty. Ask the jailers of Ricky Tomlinson. He was incredibly badly treated, and I believe him. I believe his stories of we were fucking near tortured. He was jailed in the early 70s, I think it was, or mid 70s, for protesting with union men, blah blah blah. Yeah, they were treated fucking, but not ultra violently like you'll find these days, but they were treated